Click the link in the description for your free Amsoil catalog. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of our friends. The Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Search for them on Facebook. Central Minnesota Pond Racing. Search for them on Facebook. The historic Lancaster Motel for the ultimate Eastern trail riding adventure. Crane's Snowmobile Museum at 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. The Vintage Snowmobile Club of America Quarterly Magazine. The New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum at Bear Brook State Park in Allenstown, New Hampshire. And lastly, if you decide to advertise with the Vintage Snowmobile Podcast, this could be your advertising message. Good evening and welcome to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here. I have a robust lineup of Vintage Snowmobile entertainment on tap for you tonight. In fact, there's some items not on this list that we're going to be doing, some surprises for you. I can't wait to get to that. And before we get into all of that, and I apologize, I've got an echo in my headphones. I'm going to take them off. Before we get into all that, I want to make sure that everything is working properly. So if you can see my face and hear my voice, I'm going to ask you to leave a comment. Now, please let me know where you're viewing this from and whether you are a first-time viewer or a regular viewer. Now, to our first-time viewers, this is your first time hanging out with us tonight. I hope you have a good time with us, and I hope you decide to join us here each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This podcast simulcasts to 8 different places across Facebook and YouTube. So wherever you're viewing this right now, circle back in 1 week's time, and we'll be here waiting for you with another fun-filled episode. Now, to our regular viewers who are here week after week, month after month, and season after season, you guys are the ones who make this possible, and we really, really appreciate that. Now, pardon me, I'm just getting over the flu. I still have a tickle in my throat, but we're going to try to persist and go on with the show anyway. Let's take some comments, and then we'll get our friends on. We've got a surprise guest, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun tonight. We've got Jerry Bolf here saying hello. Nice to see you, Jerry. Jeffrey Patton says good evening to Mike and Rob. Good evening back to you as well. We appreciate that. Regular viewers, Stacy and Art Fosler say sound good from Platkill, New York, and they are regular viewers from the very beginning. James Whiteside says, hey, Mikey, got an echo. Yes, so hopefully I've resolved that. Let me know whether or not there's still an echo. I was hearing that on my headphones too. It's awfully difficult to talk with that echo, but I think I resolved it at least for now. We'll see how it goes. Jim Holbrook from Thetford Center, Vermont, the regular viewer, says, sounds good. We appreciate your being in the house. Next week's guest, Kevin Culhane, is here. He says, loud and clear in Virginia Town, Ontario, regular viewer. We cannot wait to have you on here next week, Kevin. I know you got some great show and tell for us. David from Alaska Railroad says, good evening, Mike. Sounds and looks great. It sure doesn't feel like winter. It sure doesn't. Yeah, it was in the 40s here today. And yeah, it's been a strange winter. Jeffrey Patton says, looks good, sounds good. We appreciate that. Tim Bewick says hello from Marlboro, New York. Can we call you the Marlboro Man? I know it's a totally different context, but what the hell? Ben Thomas says, evening all, loud and clear here in rainy, dreary Carterville, New York. Dave Lowry is in the house. Hello from Alberta, Canada. The echo is better now. Thank you for that. We appreciate that. Oh, our good friend to most of us on this podcast, Steve Dickinson is in the house. Loud and clear, he says. And Steve, we'd love to have you on here some night for some show and tell, because Steve has an unbelievable collection of Articats. James Whiteside, much gooder, Mikey. Echo is gone. Good deal. Thank you. Reese Fleury, our good friend Reese Fleury says, sounds great. Regular viewer. We appreciate you being here. Someone on Facebook is saying loud and clear from Sudbury, Ontario. James Spranger, he was just on here a few weeks ago, says, good evening. Nice to see you, James. That was awfully fun having you on the podcast a few weeks ago. And then his twin brother, John Spranger Jr. is in the house. He says, hi, Mike from No Snow, Wisconsin. Let's see, Brian Van Haverbeek, good evening from Mount Bridges, Ontario. David from Alaska Road says echo is gone. We appreciate that. I'm just going to take a couple more here. We'll bring our guests on. We appreciate the flood of comments that's coming in, and we've got excellent viewership tonight. So thank you, all of you, so much for that. We appreciate it. Nice to see that this podcast is catching on as nicely as it is. Todd McMillan from Madoc, Ontario says hello. Nice to see you. Steve Woodward's giving us a thumbs up. Rob Grover from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, off and on viewer. Hopefully we make that more on than off. We appreciate that. Mad Dog says, Randy from Wisconsin is checking in, and this is the last comment, and we're going to take our friends, bring them on the screen here. Dirk Seams says, sounds good now here in Minnesota. Oh, and our good friend Jim Layton, we hope to have him on the podcast in the very near future as well. He's got some new show and tell for us. Nice to see you, Jim. Okay, with that out of the way, but please keep the comments coming in. But I'm going to bring on our friends, and we are going to have a fun time tonight. In fact, let me turn the microphones off, back on, I should say. So yes, I'm going to go clockwise. We've got our good friend Armin Buto, who have been wanting to get on this podcast for several years. He's been a viewer of the podcast from the beginning. I see Armin at a lot of the shows, vintage shows in Vermont and New Hampshire. He has an impressive, most of it off, unfortunately, but it's nice to finally have you on the podcast, Armin. How are you doing tonight?
Good. I hate to say it, but I'm getting a little echo from you.
Yeah, it's coming off the microphones. I'm not sure.
No, I'm glad to be on the show finally. I've been watching you for about 100 years, and I think we met at a show over in Bethlehem, if I'm not mistaken, way back.
Definitely. And, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And ever since then, I've been kind of hooked on the show, and it's always amazed me that the readership or the listenership, should I say, is as broad as it is. I mean, we're talking about people on the West Coast and Alaska, and every once in a while there's some nut in Florida that has a snowmobile down there for some strange reason. It's a lot of fun.
It absolutely is. And yes, I think the first time we met was at the Allenstown show in 2019, and I have a video clip from that. We're gonna play a little later tonight of the first day we met.
Oh, that's a good one, and that's a lot of my best stuff in it.
Definitely, yeah. He in his prime, he was a serious rup collector, among other things as well. And then, of course, in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, I'm going to turn your microphone on. Right? We have Ray Lacasse. He's here tonight. He's our guest of honor. He's here to talk about an event he's got coming up. You want to give us a quick 1 minute on that, and then we'll get deeper into it as we go?
Yeah, I just want to say this is going to be our 4th annual Great Northwoods Vintage Snowmobile Ride in Pittsburg, New Hampshire. It's going to be held on March 9th from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Everybody's welcome. No registrations needed. We're having a cookout, and we're raffling off a 1988 Polaris Sport, Indy Sport, that is mint. And I got to thank Armin. He's the one that found this sled, and took very little work to get this puppy running, and everybody's excited about it.
Wonderful. Yeah, can't wait to see that. We've got plenty of clips from those shows that you do. In fact, I think the mic we're having trouble with is yours. I'm going to mute you, except for when you're talking. So no offense, but I think that's where the noise is coming from. But yeah, we've got clips of those shows that you do, those events from previous years, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun. And then, of course, our co-host, our good friend Rob Hilditch, is in the house. How you doing tonight, Rob?
I'm doing good, Mike. That run, are they going to have to put the wheels on the front of the snowmobile?
Good question. What do you think, Ray?
March 8th, he said?
Well, yeah, March 9th. We've got pretty good snow right now. Hopefully it holds on. We get a little bit more snow. The last 2 years, it seems like the night before, 2 years ago, we almost canceled. And then the week before, the weather changed and we got like 1.5 feet of wet snow. So who knows? We got good snow right now. We'll see how it goes.
Good.
For sure. Well, cool. So we've just set ourselves up to do a video clip about this upcoming event. It's a show/trail ride that Ray organizes every year in Pittsburg, New Hampshire. And I have to add, too, Armand Buteau is from Pittsburg, New Hampshire as well, and he's involved with this event as well. That's why the two of them are on tonight. So let me find this clip here. We're going to take a look at some footage from the 2021 vintage ride that Ray and Armand put on. Let's take a look at this, and we'll discuss it on the other side. So there you go, footage from 2021. Now, Ray, was that the first annual or was that the second? Which show was that?
That was the very first show.
Wonderful.
And it was incredible weather, just incredible.
It was, I mean, it started out, it was like 7 degrees in the morning. And then by the time we had the cookout, it was about 50 degrees, not an ounce of wind, and just a beautiful day for the ride.
Amazing.
How many turned out at the first one?
I want to say it was around 175.
Yeah.
Wow, good turnout.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And then, yeah, so 2021 was the first one, and this is going to be the 4th annual.
This is the 4th annual.
My, how time flies.
Pre-registered?
You don't have to register. It's all permitted through the state. Anybody can ride. We've had people call us that have a group of people, and not all of them have vintage sleds, and they want to know if they can participate, and we tell them yes. We're not going to tell anybody they can't go, because what's going to happen is, and hopefully they get hooked, and they're going up to see Armand or somebody buy a sled.
Look what's on the screen.
Yeah, that looks like the sled right there.
Yeah, that's a raffle sled right there.
Yeah, that looks like the raffle sled.
You stopped at just the right place, Mike.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was just a random pause, too, which is, yeah. I love the timing on that.
Yep.
Now, we do have comments coming in. Were there any more comments anyone wanted to make on this clip before to take comments from the viewers?
I'm good.
What's the cost of the raffle tickets?
The raffle tickets are $10 a piece or 3 for $20.
And can they order online, people from out of state?
They could call. My phone number's on the bottom. They could call me and I'll ship them right out to them.
Absolutely. And that's a sweet looking ride right there.
It's a phenomenal sled. I couldn't get over it. Original seat, no holes, no, seams opening up, nothing like that.
Nice.
Perfect track. It's electric start.
Electric start. Yeah.
Yeah, and it runs incredibly well. I mean, it pulls very well for a little 340.
Sweet. Sweet.
Everybody should have at least one.
Yeah. Sure. Now we've got comments aplenty coming in here. Let's see. We've got Dirk Seams, our good friend Dirk Seams. He's been on the podcast a few times. He said, sounding good now here in Minnesota. Our good friend Jim Layton is in the house saying hello. Dirk Seams says the echo is back, but I think I just fixed it. David from Alaska Railroad says, good evening, Rob, Armand, and Ray. Appreciate that. Yes, Dirk Seams says Armand sounds fine. James Whiteside says probably from all the cell phones that were affected today, thanks AT&T. That's entirely possible. Who knows? Yeah, I heard there was some problems there. Let's see. John Spranger Jr., our good friend, says David from Alaska Railroad and Mad Dog, you guys are from Wisconsin. Send me a friend request. Yeah, that'd be cool to have like a club within a club of all of us hanging out here. John Zenert says jealous. No snow in the Midwest all year. Yeah, it's been a strange winter. Not much in the Northeast either. And Pittsburgh is fortunate because Pittsburgh must be higher elevation or something. Pittsburgh always has snow even when the rest of us don't. But James Whiteside says hard to watch people actually riding on this stuff they call snow. Yes. And Ben Thomas is asking if the raffle tickets are available online. And we just answered that a moment ago. Unfortunately, they are not. But if you call the number on the screen and the lower right corner of the screen, you'll reach Ray. Don't call him now while we're on the podcast, but once the podcast is over, I'll give him a call and he will set you up with some tickets. And that sled is in Pittsburg, New Hampshire, by the way. Okay. And then he said, Rob asked, text okay too. Okay. So is text okay, Ray, to text about tickets?
What was that, Mike?
Is it okay to text you at that number about the ticket?
Absolutely. Yes.
Wonderful. And I'll put that graphic back on the screen here in just a moment. We've also got Josh Leviker in the house from Turin, New York. He said he did 59 miles on the Tug Hill today. Wonderful. That's one of the few places in the East that I understand has snow as well. Well, cool. So we were talking about the barbecue that is part of this ride. I've got some images that Ray sent me a few years ago. It's a montage. I put them into a montage with some music under it. Let's take a look at the barbecue experience over there. Just take me a moment to pull it up and yeah, take a look. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'd shut my mic off there because I was coughing. But yeah, that's some great footage, great images from that barbecue. And there's a couple of sleds I want to draw your attention to. A couple of Polaris right here. Those Polaris is right there. Ray, correct me if I'm wrong. That one on the left is yours, and the one on the right is our mutual friend Midge Rosebrooks, isn't it?
That is correct.
Wonderful. Some gorgeous sleds, and both of those have amazing restorations. You can get a up close look at either of those sleds, and you'll be very, very impressed.
Very much so. And Midge is a great guy. Hopefully he's going to make it up to the ride this year. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're going to have the cookout in the same place this year that we had the first year, right by Depot Camp. And the best thing about these cookouts, it's not so much the ride, it's listening to all the stories from back in the day when they were originally riding these sleds with their families. That was just priceless. I wish I could just do an audio of everybody talking about the stories of all sleds and the memories that they had on them.
That's going to be amazing. It's almost like deja vu going back to the old ride-ins we used to do back in the day in the 70s.
Yes.
Yeah, and those were absolutely amazingly, wonderfully fun. And I'm sure this is every bit as fun as that. And I'm sure people are saying we're reliving that. Is that what they're saying?
Oh, I mean, and that's what you hear it's just bringing them back to their childhood and you know the younger days when they had these sleds. And how many people pulled in, and Armin can attest to this, that were on new sleds that didn't even know about this ride, that pulled in and their eyes were as big as grapefruits, walking around looking at all these sleds, and people saying how they're going out to just buy a sled just for this ride.
That's amazing. That's amazing. This vintage hobby is very contagious, and I'm sure you're doing your part to spread the virus around, right?
We are.
That's cool. That's cool. It's catching on big time. Now, Rob, were any sleds there that caught your eye as we were watching this?
Well, I seen you show that Players is up for a draw a couple times.
Yes.
It is in really nice looking shape.
Yes.
Do some people come out just to watch the show, watch them go by?
We had people at the beginning where we took off from lined up along the road to see them take off.
So this happens in the middle of the Pittsburg system that is busy because it's a weekend anyway. So a lot of people come into the middle of it, aren't aware that it's there, and just pull over and just stand there with their chin dragging on the ground, you know, saying, what the hell's going to come by next? It's really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Is the cookout at a clubhouse?
No, it's actually, well, yes and no. There's a place right across from one of the camps that you just saw that's where they used to have the steak feeds for the Pittsburg Ridge Runners. That's the house that we're using, or the camp that we're using. There's another one just to the right of it. You probably, I don't know if there's a picture of it in there. Whoops, if you back up one, right there, that camp right there, that used to be the place where they had the steak feeds, the Pittsburg Ridge Runners back in the day. So everybody rode out there, and that's where they used to have the big steak feed.
Nice. Very cool. And we've got comments aplenty coming in. Let's see what we've got coming in the way of comments. Joe Zenert says, looks like a great event. Absolutely. And then Josh Leverker says the NYN sled show at the Lowville Fairgrounds is on May 25th, hosted by Ed Stabben himself. Same format as last year. Flyers will be out soon. Yes, and please keep us in the loop on that, Josh. We're happy to help you promote that and get the word out. Our good friend Jim Layton says we have 2 vintage slows coming up March 2nd, Fort Kent, Maine, for the Can-Am sled dog races, and then March 3rd in Caribou, Maine at the Snow Bowl. And he says he'll get more videos and photos for an upcoming show. Yes, please do, Jim. And we love the video clips that you sent us last year of those events. Percy Mitchell says, greetings from Western New York. James Whiteside says, that's what I call a party. Sweet. Absolutely. And David from Alaska Railroad says, love the shots of that last video. Oh, those TXs got me fired up. Absolutely. And Dirk Seams says, I think that was the first Blue Raider I've ever seen. Good call. Yeah. Good call. Well, cool. So I'm going to pull this from the screen. We are just getting started. We've got a whole lot more for you tonight, but right now it's time for us to do Amsoil. And Rob, if you're ready, I'm going to put you full screen and let you talk to us about Amsoil.
Okay, I'm trying to just use my phone instead of the iPad, so if I can turn it. There, we can just about see the table. Amsoil does a lot of promotions. In the month of February, there's less days in the month. So for a promotion for the whole month until March 5th, Amsoil is doing different promotions for all the different categories. Everybody knows we have commercial accounts. Anybody who has a commercial account, like a trucking company, a bus delivery, backhoes and all that, if you order $500 worth of Amsoil, Amsoil is going to send you 6 diesel fuel injector cleaners for free. Now, if you have a bus fleet or something like gas, there you're going to get the PI free. Now, if you're a regular preferred customer or a regular dealer, you order $200 worth instead of 4, they're going to ship it to you free. Sales are always slower in February, so they're trying to increase them. And for the commercial, for the preferred and the catalog commercials, you order $75 worth, you're going to get a free bottle of PI included in your order. Now, Mike's
I've
got
got
a
a graphic
code on
for
there
that.
that you can click on, free QUS, and you get your free bottle anytime you order $75 worth. And if you want the best possible discount you can get, sign up as a preferred customer, costs you $10 for 6 months, and you save 25% on all the products you're going to order. The best possible way to order the products is become a preferred customer, and they ship it right to your house. Anything more than $100 worth, free shipping right to your house.
It's
Okay,
an
Mike.
amazing value. Yeah, an amazing value for sure. And there's links in the description where you can get either a free catalog or to sign up for the preferred customer program. Just a couple of clicks. It's $10, much like a Costco membership. And you're going to save more than that $10 right on your first order. So that comes right back to you. Once you hit $100, you get free shipping. So if you're ready to do that, just click that link in the description for the preferred customer program. A couple of clicks, and then click the Amsoil logo and start shopping. Everything you add to your cart on that first order will come up at the deepest level of discount, and you're getting free shipping at $100. It's a wonderful value. Well, cool. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. I'm going to play a couple of videos, and then we're going to go back and look at more about this event that Ray and Armin are putting on. But I want to do a couple, I'm going to call them introduction videos. I'm going to play a video of the first day that Armin Buto and I met back in 2019. I think we'll all get a kick out of this. I met him down at the Allenstown show in New Hampshire, and he was showing me some roughs that he has. I think he sold some of them to Ray Parento, who's been on this podcast many times. He's a familiar face to all of us. But let's take a look at that video, and we'll catch up on the other side and react to it.
Buto, and I'm from Pittsburg, New Hampshire, and I've been around reps since 1972 when I was racing them for a dealer. And since then, I've had a snowmobile touring business and a rental fleet, and I probably owned about 1,000 sleds.
Wow.
And over that period of time, I've had a lot of show sleds. And these 3 here are all very unique. The one on the left is the 73 Rupp Nitro pre-production prototype that has 0.4 of a mile on it.
0.4 of a mile.
Yeah, it's very unique. And has 22 one-off parts on it that didn't make production.
Wow.
Like aluminum rear idlers and a unique exhaust system, different skid. It's just a raft of different features on it that they were playing with and found unprofitable to do on the production run. But that I've had for about 10 years. And the one in the back I just recently picked up in Hiawatha Township, Michigan, from a gentleman by the name of Joe Francis, who built it, and that was his vintage rider, and it's a 73 Rupp Nitro 440 that he actually has stretched to accommodate a 91 Polaris RXL SKS 136.
Wow. Long track on there. Oh,
long
I can see
track.
it. Yeah.
So it's really unique, has a beautiful look to it, and I drove all the way out to get it, and it's something I bought as a vintage rider for myself. Okay, this one here is a 72 Rupp Nitro that has been customized by Bill Stull in Polonia, Wisconsin, who's a friend of mine. And the bulkhead's been widened out about 6 inches, has custom lowers. It has a 73 440 Tohatsu with CDI ignition, and that's mated with a 72 Ram's horn exhaust, which really snaps it up.
Yeah.
Has a liquid rup rear skid and track. It's just a beautiful custom. Now these two, the pre-production Nitro and the custom 72, were one of 5 reps I showed at the Nationals in Lancaster, New Hampshire in 16. And they both trophied at that level. Both of them got seconds, which to me was
Yeah, at a national show.
really nice.
That's impressive.
And so I had 5 sleds there, and 3 of them trophied.
Yeah.
And just these 2 just happened to be here. But this show I've probably been at for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years now. And it's always like coming home, you know, because I live in Pittsburg, New Hampshire, which is close to the edge of the world.
Yeah. Top of the world anyway.
Absolutely. So they're a lot of fun. Rupp is kind of a unique product. And one of the unique things I have that several people have been trying to talk me out of late is a Simpson fire suit that was owned by Mick Rupp.
Oh, really?
And it's got his logo on it, and it's something that I have documentation that he has worn when he flew P-38, which he still does a lot.
Huh.
And so it's kind of a neat affiliation with the brand. It's kind of genetic defect, I guess.
Yeah.
So my name's Armin.
Yeah, very cool, Armin. And that I got to say that video on when I put that up to YouTube got tons and tons of views. That's probably one of my more viral videos, actually. But,
Now, how many kilometers were on that first one? 0.4?
Yes. And,
They did that putting it in the crate.
I was telling Mike earlier that there's a funny rotation that happened that came from Bill Stull, and I bought it over the phone from him, and I had it for about 10 years, and I showed it, and that ended up back at Ray Parento's in Derby, and Ray just traded it back to Bill Stull for some parts for a sled he's building, and that happened 3 times. So 3 different sled went round the trip between Bill Stull back to Bill Stull over a 12 or 15 year period, which is really funny as hell.
That's amazing. And Bill Stull has been on this podcast numerous times as well. He's
a real nice guy, and his his wife is a doll, and she is the voice of the track at Eagle River. One of the 2 announcers, and she does a real good job. Nice lady.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, and it's funny, this community, this vintage snowmobile community, as you start getting to know people, it's a very small community. Everyone knows everyone.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, actually.
It is. Yeah. And we've got comments coming in. Let's see. Here we go. Stacy and Art Folder say, hey, Rob, what's that blue label bottle behind the PI?
Water?
Ah, gotcha. It's like, what was it on Sesame Street? One of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong. But cool. But all right, and then we've got David from Alaska Road saying, very nice Rups. Armin, one of my dream sleds is a 76 Magnum. Yeah. Very cool. And Joe Zedek says loves the Rups. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Armin.
I actually had 3 of them over time, and one of them ended up back in the possession of the guy that owns North Country Ford.
Wow.
He loves it. He bought it straight from me at 2016 National at Lancaster, which is kind of a hoot.
Yes, that was a great show too, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Then we've got Mad Dog saying, so those are some mint Rupp snowmobiles. Very nice. And yeah, thank you for all the Rupp love we're seeing on the podcast tonight. We appreciate that. Steve Woodward says super nice Rupps. Ben Thomas says need a Rupp. And Stacy and our closers say love the Rupps. Cool deal. Cool deal. Well, cool. So what we're going to do next is we just did the introduction video of when Armin and I met for the first time, and Ray and I had a similar encounter last spring at the Island Pond Show in last March. Now, Ray and I have been friends for probably 3 or 4 years, quite good friends in regular contact, but we'd never met in person until this particular show back in March of last year at Island Pond. So I'm going to play that clip of when he and I first met for real in person. Let's take a look. It's just taking a moment to load here. We need some Jeopardy music. I hope the browser doesn't crash. Oh, okay, it failed. Let me try loading it again. There we go.
I think I see somebody I know over here. Is this Ray Lacasse?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, finally we meet.
Good to meet you. Yeah.
This is wonderful.
How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. Finally put a face to you.
Finally, yeah. This is wonderful.
Only on a computer before.
It's true. It's funny because we've known each other probably like 3 years now.
Yep.
And you know, we've known each other quite well, and then to finally meet in person is just a real treat.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun being on the podcast with you before.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with that for sure. Yeah. And do I understand you brought some sleds here today?
We did. I've got my 76 440 TX.
Here we go.
Been restored pretty much 100%. Not quite, probably about 90%. But we got that. I got a friend of mine's got the 78 SRX with the pogo sticks on the front.
Yeah.
And I brought a 78 Exciter with me.
Nice.
And Armin brought his Panther. The Rupp guy brought a Panther.
Yeah.
We got to pick on him on the way home.
We do. And then for people who watch the podcast, this is Armin Buto, who's on always making comments to us.
Yeah.
Sure.
Gonna have a 5-second delay.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
This is an awesome show.
Yeah. This is a nice turnout.
Yeah.
Definitely. Cool deal. And these guys came in from Pittsburg, New Hampshire, by the way. And then you had another friend with you too. I don't know.
He's getting a coffee.
He's getting a coffee.
He's a smart one. Getting a coffee.
Yeah.
Here I am with no gloves on taking pictures.
Yeah.
Which I'll send you some of these pictures later.
Please do. Yeah. And if you have a chance, if you have any pictures or video from your Pittsburg show.
Yeah.
In fact,
those to you, yeah.
Do you want to do a quick shameless post-show plug on the show?
Well, we just had our Pittsburg vintage ride a couple of weeks ago, March 4th. And we have a vintage show coming up in September 16th, I believe. Be our second annual. And we're looking forward to having a lot of people here this year. A lot of people I've talked to here look like they're going to come over. So it should be a good time. And Armin helps me a lot with this. And yeah, we're going to have a good time. Great.
Wonderful. Oh, and this is Wayne, also from Pittsburg, New Hampshire.
Yes.
How you doing, Wayne? Nice to see you.
The SRX.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he's got the SRX right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All the way from Pittsburg, New Hampshire. Cool deal. And we're live right now on Facebook and YouTube, going out to 8 different places.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. They don't get it on Interpol. Yeah.
Exactly.
We're
Yeah.
anywhere near a post office.
Yeah. We don't want our picture on the wall.
Oh, that was
Cool. It is. Well, cool. I'll let you keep photographing, and I'm going to do some more of my own too. But we'll circle back.
All right, Mike.
Cool deal.
Now that was a lot of fun, I have to say. Any thoughts on that, Ray? Looking back on it?
Oh, that was a great event, and I don't know if they're having that event again this year because I understand that the restaurant closed that kind of sponsored it, but that was a great time. That's the first time we've been over there, and great people, great show, and again, small knit community. a lot of people that we've seen at our rides and shows that were there, and great catching up with those people.
Oh, for sure. And I have to say too that you and Armin and myself are regulars at a lot of these shows in northern Vermont and New Hampshire. And if you're ever going to any of these shows, please keep an eye out for us and say hello if you run into us. We would love to meet you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and as far as this Island Pond show for this year, you're right. I'm trying to think of the name of the restaurant, the Kingdom Grill, I think it was. It has closed. They were the people putting that on. I've been in touch with Dave Buska, who also was involved with that event, and he's telling me there's kind of a question mark over it. I need to reach back out to him because it's been maybe a month since I've been in touch with him. I need to find out whether they're going to do something. They usually do it in March if they do. So I need to find out whether or not, what the final word is on that and post it on here maybe next week, have some kind of announcement one way or another so people can plan accordingly.
Yeah, that was a great event.
That was, and it would be a bummer to see that stop. That was a great location, great event, very well attended. Yeah, and that's your Polaris too, by the way.
Yeah, that's my TX.
Yes, and Armin's Panther just to the right of it.
Yep,
You betcha.
That's right. And we do have comments coming in. Let's see. We've got Todd McMillan. He says, "Mike, you have an awesome show. Keep up the good work." Well, thank you for that. We appreciate that. And I'm kind of like Ringo Starr. I how does it say? I get by with a little help from my friends. We're looking at the friends right here on the left side of the screen that help us do that. Dave from Alaska Railroad says, "I sure miss my 76 TX 340. That sled, Ray. Anytime you want to send it to me, I will gladly accept it. It would look great next to his TXL."
I think he said that every time I've been on the show, and you've showed that picture.
It's true.
At least he's persistent.
Yes, and it's true. It's not hard to admire that sled, I have to say. Not hard at all to admire that sled. Now, Reese Fleury says, "Mike, do you have a list of shows in northern Vermont and New Hampshire?" I'm going to stand back and let Ray answer that because I know he's involved with a calendar to that very effect. That calendar, Ray, that you and Bud are working on. Oh, did your screen freeze up, Ray?
Yeah, it looks like he's froze.
Yeah, Ray, if you can hear us, if you can log off and back on again.
Oh,
here we go. Are you there, Ray?
yeah, I'm here. I think my internet just buffered a little bit.
Yes. But yeah, we were asking about that calendar that you and Bud are working on.
Yeah, and they're still working on a little bit. I posted our show back a while ago, and he's working with a person that's working with a website a little bit. Hopefully, by halfway through this year, he's going to have the bugs out of it. And just while I'm here too, just to plug them, Hampshire Snowmobile Museum, they're having their ride in Franconia Notch, March 3rd, a Sunday. Which is coming right up too, and that's a beautiful ride. Armin's been there. Fantastic ride when you come up through Franconia Notch, and they put on a wonderful little show right there too.
Yes, for sure. Anything to add to that, Alan?
Ray, how many miles is your ride?
Our ride's about a 30-mile loop.
Wow.
And it's beautiful trails.
That far.
What's that?
I know my SRX can't go that far in a tank of gas.
No. We have a few of them that carry a couple extra gallons with them.
Yeah.
Good idea. Oh, and then we've got Joe Senior saying, "It's great to see our hobby is strong in the Northeast. If you all get to Wisconsin, look me up." Yeah, great idea. We appreciate that. Oh, and Alan Gove from New Hampshire, regular viewers in the house. Nice to see you, Alan. In fact, I had a chance to meet Alan a few weeks ago at the Crane Show. And we had a wonderful visit. It was really nice to meet him. In fact, we'll be having him on the podcast in the near future. Cool deal. So, yes, let's keep the podcast moving here because we're just getting started and we've got only 15 minutes to go. We've got a couple more videos to show you. Here's some footage from the Pittsburgh ride in 2022. And this is a This is the next year. We looked at some footage from the first year. This is year 2. This is where they got a dump of snow a day or two before the event. Let's take a look.
Yeah. You want to get them? All right. Yeah. As soon as they sell, we're going to call the winner. Ray's waiting for you to take it home. That's a 120. The one behind the snake.
Hey, give me a thumbs up.
Oh, actually, hold on.
that's just a whole lot of fun going on right there. Yeah, a whole lot of fun going on right there. Any comments or reactions to that? Anyone?
We sure don't have snow like that nowadays.
No.
That was the year we almost canceled. We didn't think we were going to have any snow, and the week before, then in the morning that we were having our meeting, the Weather Channel was saying it was going to be warm and rain, and we were pretty much sure we were going to have to cancel it. And then when we were having the meeting,
Oh, I think he may be freezing up. Are you still there, Ray?
He's froze.
Yeah, he's froze. Oh no. Well, I'm sorry about that. While we're waiting for him to unfreeze, any comments on that, Armin? Were you at that show?
Where is that coming from?
I don't know. I'm not sure where the music is coming from.
I was going to say we're getting classy music to the movies, but
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's coming from. But well, let's keep going then. I'm going to take a few comments and we're going to keep going. I'm trying to find my place here. Oh, okay. So James Whiteside is asking if this is Pittsburg exit 3 off of 95. Anyone comment on that?
no, we're on Route 3, but 95 is going into Maine or.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the audio right now. That's we've got some gremlins in the system. But yeah, you take Route 3 all the way up through New Hampshire, right up to the top of New Hampshire into Pittsburg, New Hampshire, and from there I think it's a dam that you're going to. What's the name of that dam where you have that?
Well, that's Murphy Dam. That's where we have the vintage show.
Okay.
Where we leave from for the vintage ride is on Back Lake Road, the OHRV parking lot on Back Lake Road.
Gotcha. In fact, I've got a graphic. Let me pop that graphic. I haven't done that yet. Those are some details on how to find it.
Yeah, and if anybody has any questions, they can contact me by phone, or if they know me on Facebook or have me on Facebook and private message me. But either way, they can contact me. I can give them all the information that they need.
Perfect. And Ray's number is in the lower right-hand corner of the screen there. And we've got plenty more comments that have come in here. We've got Stacey and Art Fosler saying, love that 72 Polaris Charger. Mark Radil says, Joe Zenert, the Northwestern PA and Northwestern New York vintage sled show scene is very strong also. Absolutely. And Ben Thomas says, Mark Central and Northern New York scene strong too, would be even stronger with some decent snow. Pull some strings, Mike. Yes, I'll do what I can. Get some snow for all of us. Here we go. James Strangler says, David, Alaska Railroad, Mad Dog. Friend request. He must be looking for friend requests. Yeah, because all these guys are in Wisconsin. That'd be cool if they could all have kind of a little circle of friends there. He's thinking of Maine. Okay, no worries at all. Mark Radil says, great conditions and attendance at that New Hampshire show. Yes. Dirk Seams says, lots of toe straps. Yeah, they're good to have. Sometimes you do need them. Bada Bing says, hello, Mike. Hi, guys. Hello back. Nice to see you. Todd McMillan says, Mike, do you still have snow? Yeah, we've got 6 inches or so. The trails are open in a few different spots, but just barely enough to say so. It's probably going to damage your sled, on roots and rocks and that sort of thing. Jeffrey Patton says, glad I don't ride that old stuff anymore. Sure, it's going to be hot in the back. But we've got 5 minutes left, and I've got one more clip. I want to give Ray a chance to talk up his September Pittsburgh event. since we're doing this. And I've got a video clip of that. You want to talk that up a little bit before we roll that, talk up that event a little?
Sure. I mean, that event was a nice event. And again, weather played a little havoc with us. We had a hurricane coming up the coast that day, and we had some wind involved with the show, and we had a lot of people that didn't come up last minute because the southern part of the state was really getting drowned in rain. We ended up having a dry day, but it was a little bit windy. I had a good turnout, some beautiful sleds. There was a Skidoo Super Olympic with an opposing twin that came down from Canada that I'm going to tell you that this thing was just unbelievable. I don't know if I've ever seen a sled restored the way this sled was restored, from top to bottom, every little screw, nut, cable. I mean, this thing, he took off all the clips off the track and hand polished every single one of them.
And
put them back on, and I think Ivan will tell you. I mean, everybody's jaw just dropped, but before anybody else unloaded, we pretty much knew who was going to win that show.
And even the wear bars on the skis on that sled were chromed. I couldn't believe it.
Crazy.
Without a scratch anywhere. It's just amazing.
Unreal. Well, cool. Let's take a look. This clip is from 2022, so it may not have the sleds we were just talking about, but it'll give you a sense of that September show that these guys do. There we go. Pittsburg, New Hampshire in September. That's the place to go. Any thought you want to do a shameless plug on that show for September?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have another show. It looks like it's going to be September 21st this year. Not 100% sure on that date, but pretty sure that's going to be the date for the show again. We're talking about bringing mini bikes and stuff into it too, antique mini bikes, which we had a few there this year.
Nice.
Seemed to be a big hit. Yeah, so we're looking forward to this again too.
Nice. Now, who's this guy in a blue hoodie right here?
I think that might be Almond Buto.
Yes.
No.
Nice. And then I also saw the Bristol sleds, the Bristol family sleds.
Yes. Yeah, he had that Arctic Cat Formula and
Why am I not finding that?
right, you're coming
Right
up
there,
right
yeah.
there. Yeah.
The Formula, the Moto Ski,
Yeah.
Cat, and the Kawasaki. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Mark's got a nice collection too, and he does a nice job. Great people. I mean, there's nobody in this in this series that aren't nice. Just great people to talk to. Great wealth of knowledge from everybody on all these old sleds, and anybody, if you ask a question, they've always got an answer for you. They're not snide. They're not with the noses up. Just great people, down to earth.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful community. I have to say it's a wonderful blessing, at least as far as the northern New Hampshire and northern Vermont shows that I go to, could not get mixed up with a more wonderful crowd. It's a wonderful community.
That's for sure.
And you see a lot of the same people at all the shows. And it's really nice. It's a great opportunity to visit and hang out with them.
Yes.
And Rob, did you have any reactions to what we were looking at here?
Is that show in Pittsburgh too?
Yes, it is.
What town's that show in?
It's in Pittsburg, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire? Good.
Yeah, and this is the one that's by the dam, correct?
Yep, this is right by Murphy Dam on Lake Francis.
Nice. Yeah,
It's
that's
just a one-day show?
Yes, just a one-day show.
Is it a swap meet also?
Yes.
Yeah, look like there's quite a few swap items there. Yeah. Yeah, where was it? There's a guy who had a bunch of swap stuff out. I know Armin had some swap stuff, and then
What did
right
Armin
here,
buy there that time?
here's a bunch of swap stuff right here. Yeah. Oh, and we've got comments coming in. Where were we here? Okay, here we go. Rich Shad, our good friend Rich Shad says, "Good evening, guys. Rich Shad, regular viewer. Nice to see you." John Spranger Jr. says, "Great show tonight. Congratulations to you four guys. Thank you very much." Bada Bing says, "Hello. Nice to see you." David from Alaska Railroad has a question for Ray. He says, "I'm the same way. Everything is polished. My 2005 Polaris 700 XC SP looks better than it is new. And it's called OCD." Yes. That is a factor. Thomas says, "Great show tonight. Thank you, gentlemen. Good evening to all." Well, thank you so much. Dave's wife says, "So glad that people still love the old stuff. Great show, guys. Thank you." Well, thank you so much. Bada Bing says, "I would love to ride those snowmobiles." Yeah. Tim Bewick says, "Great show, guys. Thank you very much." Dirk Seams says, "Nice show. We appreciate that." And Mark Rodil says, "Thank you for the show tonight, gang." Well, thank you for that. We really appreciate that. And I'll tell you, this hour has just flown right by. It's already past 10. I don't know where the time went tonight, but that means the old saying, time flies when you're having fun. That's never more true as tonight. And also our good friend James Spranger says, "Awesome show tonight, fellas. Thank you very much. Glad you could join us, James." Oh, and Bada Bing says, "Sorry I missed your podcast last night, the Muscle Car podcast." He says his wife was not well. Thanks for airing his car. Yeah, great car. That was the Lincoln Continental Mark V. Yeah, what a beautiful car that was. And if you miss it, it's worth going back and checking out last night's Muscle Car podcast just to see it. What a gorgeous car. And David from Alaska Railroad says, "Awesome show, guys. We appreciate that." So we've come to the end of the podcast. What we're going to do is go around clockwise with closing comments. Any final closing comments, Armin?
I survived.
You survived, yeah.
No, I was a little apprehensive before we started, but I will probably survive several days after this at least.
Good. Yeah, it's wonderful to finally have you on. I've been wanting to have you on the podcast for years, and it's nice to finally see your face.
Right. I'm glad you were persistent.
Yes. Yeah, glad we finally did this. And Ray, comments?
I just want to thank everybody that watches your podcast, and thank you, Mike, for putting on this podcast. It's great that so many people across North America can see this and see what we love. and I'm sure they have the same passion, just in a different area.
Yes. Yeah, it's a wonderful sense of community, getting to know everyone and seeing what they have. And so many people are sharing images and video clips now. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful way to see what's going on in this hobby and in this community.
Absolutely.
And Rob, thoughts? Final closing thoughts?
Great show. And Ray, I hope you guys have a good turnout and the weather cooperates with you again. Hope you get big snowfall the day before.
Yes.
I'm hoping it's about 3 days before so we can get it groomed and packed and hard.
For sure.
Oh, and Bada Bing says, great show, great sleds. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Cool. So, yeah, it's time to close the program. Thank you so much to our guests tonight and also to our viewers. Like I was saying about Ringo Starr earlier, I get by with a little help from my friends. It would not be the same doing this by myself. So thank you to everyone, the guests tonight and the viewers. It's a fun little party we do every week, and we really appreciate it. As always, the last word goes to Amsoil. And have a wonderful day, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
All right. Take it easy, Mike.
Hey, y'all.
Hello, everyone. This is Rob and Mike. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing good. Mike, yourself?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Amsoil. And in a few moments, we're going to show you how you can get the deepest discounts, free shipping, and free gifts when you order your Amsoil products through us. But first, I'm going to ask Rob to give you a quick description of what Amsoil is and why you should consider using Amsoil products in your motorized vehicles.
Thanks, Mike. Amsoil is 100% synthetic oil. Everybody uses Amsoil for a different reason. Some people like the benefits that Amsoil is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. The reason we can do that is because Amsoil doesn't oxidize. It doesn't form the usual carbons, gums, sludges like petroleum oils do. That's why we can keep it in the engines longer. Petroleum oils never do wear out. They oxidize themselves. That's why they have to be changed at 3,000 kilometers. And Amsoil likes the benefit that you only have to change the oil once a year. That saves some money. Some of the people like the benefit of Amsoil is it's a slipperier type lube. By having a slipperier type lube, it cuts down friction and drag. By less friction and drag, engines run 20 to 50 degrees cooler, better gas mileage. Now, Amsoil says 25% more protection than the industry requires is in the Amsoil bottles. My average customer gets about 10% increase in gas mileage. That's a big savings.
Yeah.
And by cutting down friction and drag, for every 10 degrees you cut down the friction and drag, doubles the life of the engine. So by having the engine run cooler, it makes it last longer. Some people like the benefit of the range of the Amsoil. Amsoil's flash point is 425 degrees, and it pours at 50 below zero. Wow. If you ever tried petroleum oil when it's 10 below, it turns to honey. And in the summertime, petroleum oil thins out, and once it thins out, that's when it starts breaking down. So Amsoil's an all-season oil, can give you better gas mileage, longer engine life, less maintenance. It ends up being cheaper over a year's time running Amsoil than it is petroleum oils.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Amsoil is available for pretty much any motorized vehicle, anything from lawn equipment, cars, trucks, boats, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Yep. And a lot of people phone me up and say, well, what's the benefit of our gear lube? Exactly what I told you about the engine oil. It pours in cold weather, it runs cooler, makes the equipment last longer. And they say, well, what's the benefit of the small engine? Same thing. Makes the engine run cooler, last longer, better performance. So it saves on all the applications that Amsoil has available.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, let's talk now. Hopefully this has convinced people to think about maybe joining us in the Amsoil experience. Let's talk about some of the discounts and free shipping and how that all happens. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen. And by all means, if you want to talk people through how this preferred customer program works.
Amsoil has a number of different programs. One of our main ones is a catalog customer, where somebody can order directly out of our catalog. If they order out of the catalog, they order $100 worth, Amsoil will ship it right to their house. But our best program is our preferred customer. For only $10 for 6 months, you become a preferred customer, you save 25% on all the product. You order $100 worth, they're going to give you free shipping. You don't have to order a whole case. You can mix and match. Say you want 4 bottles of small engine, 7 bottles of 5W30, and a couple of gear loops. You can mix and match. You can order 1 bottle at a time if you want. There's no minimums, no maximums. By being a preferred customer, you save over 25% on all the products you're going to buy. Amsoil sends you extra gifts, a $5 gift certificate on your birthday, $5 when you renew your account and stuff like that. So it's a good way to save on some of the products you want to buy.
For sure. Yeah, it's an incredible value. And this is the deepest level of discount that anyone can get when ordering Amsoil. Is that correct?
It is.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's take people through the step-by-step experience of placing an Amsoil order. Then that would include signing up for the preferred customer discount, or sorry, preferred customer program, so they can receive those deepest levels of discount. So let's go to the website. This is what the website's going to look like. These are some screenshots. Once you go to amsoil.com, there's a link in the description, or you can just type that into a browser, amsoil.com. This is the page you land on. At the upper corner of the page there, you see how I've circled in red. That is the link to click, the Join Now link. That will take you to the preferred customer program page, where you can take advantage of all of these discounts and free shipping and everything that we've just been talking about. This is what that page looks like. In the lower right, you're going to click Join Now. This will pop up. You select the duration you'd like, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and click Add to Cart. Now, once this pop-up goes away, you'll be back on the main page. And the upper left, you'll see where I've got that red arrow. It says Shop. Now you can start shopping for products, and on your very first order, you're going to get these discounts and the free shipping as long as it's over $100. You'll get all of these benefits right away. So once you click Shop, it's going to take you to a product page. There's different types of oils, lubricants, so on and so forth. For the benefit of this exercise we're doing now, I'm just going to click motor oil. It shows different types of motor oil. Let's click gasoline. Now this takes us to an item. It's their synthetic motor oil. And you can see the item there, and there's choices for different viscosities. But take a look at the price. Let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in. But if you've joined the preferred customer program first, you're going to automatically get the deepest levels of discount. That's what we're looking at here. You're saving $3.80 on that quart of oil. Instead of paying $16.29, you're now paying $12.49 for that quart of oil. That is the deepest level of discount you can possibly get. And then you just add the quantity that you'd like. You select any other items that you're thinking about, add them to the cart. And once you click Add to Cart for the final time, you're going to see this come up at the top of the screen. It's going to show your items and your the total that you're at so far. Pardon me. And then you just click View Cart in the upper right, and that'll take you to your cart. Take a close look here at the upper right. That blue box shows that you're getting free shipping. You're eligible for free shipping on this order because it's over $100. That little yellow box shows that you've got the preferred customer membership on your order that gives you the deepest levels of discounts for the next 6 to 12 months. And then below that, you've got the items that have been selected. For the exercise here, I selected 9 quarts of the signature series, but that brings us up over $100 for the free shipping. We're saving $34.20. And if you're ready to finish, you click Checkout Now, and that takes you to this screen here. If you haven't signed up with an Amsoil account at this point, just click in the lower right to create an account, create a new account. It's going to ask you for some basic information, name, and those types of things. Now, let's take a closer look. You'll see this gray shaded box. This is a very important box. This is going to ask you if someone has referred you to Amsoil. And if so, please enter my name. My name is Mike LaPierre. It's spelled right there on the screen for the correct spelling. And also the referral number, 304-555-94. That's how you make sure that Rob and I get credit for this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have signed up for Amsoil under Rob. So when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. So if you enjoy these podcasts that we're doing, this is a wonderful way to support the podcast, because when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. And the commissions I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So I thank you in advance for that, for using my referral number. I very much appreciate it. And once you've done that, you just go into the next screen to enter your payment information, and you're done. Now, once you've placed your order that's over $100, and that order includes your Amsoil Preferred Customer Program, you are now eligible to get a free DVD from myself. Now, this is going to be either a muscle car DVD or a vintage snowmobile DVD. Use the email address on the screen, wkspodcasts@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know which DVD you would like me to send you, the muscle car or the vintage snowmobile DVD, and I'll get that right out to you. As you're typing in that email, in the subject line, be sure and type in capital letters "free DVD requests," so it stands out as I'm checking my email, and we'll get that right out to you. So I guess the last thing, Rob, that we wanted to talk about is if someone is considering Amsoil as a business opportunity.
Yes. If anybody has a retail or a commercial account and they would like to buy directly from Amsoil, just send Mike a line. He'll show you how to set up, and you can buy directly from Amsoil. But if you are interested in starting your own part-time business, a part-time business that can grow into a full-time income, Mike and I will show you the Amsoil marketing plan. Amsoil has a large selection of products that cover almost every application. So it doesn't matter if you're into snowmobile, boating, or ATVing, or hot rods. We have an oil for every application. It's a fun type business that's I really enjoy doing. Where else can I go and have fun and make money doing it? And Mike and I are here to help you all the way along. If you need any help on how to promote or to find new accounts, we're here to help you.
For sure. So when you sign up under that number, this 304-555-94, you're getting Rob and I as a team. Now, Rob has been doing Amsoil for 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So he knows every aspect of this business, and he knows all of the ins and outs of the products. So he'll be able to help you with any kind of product questions or any kind of questions to show you the different business models that you can do with Amsoil. And then the other thing that you get when you sign up under me is I've got a strong background in social media. So if you need some coaching on how to generate Amsoil leads using Facebook and YouTube, I'm happy to coach you with that when you sign up under Rob and I. You get both of us as a team to help you, to coach you, to support you, whatever you need to get you off and running with this business and having fun with it. Like Rob said, it's an enormous amount of fun. If you're like Rob and I and you enjoy going to any kind of boat shows, car shows, motorcycle shows, snowmobile shows, anything with a motor, you like going to those shows, those events, those races, this is a great way to turn that into a income opportunity for you.
Yes. And just by wearing my Amsoil hat at one of these events, people come up and ask me about Amsoil. People don't know where to buy it, and I'm there to help them, show them where they can buy the product.
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, this is great. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
Amsoil's a fun business. Amsoil's been around since 1968. It was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's very early in the game too, isn't it?
Yes.
For sure. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for viewing. Hopefully, we've gotten you excited as we are about the Amsoil products. We'd love it if you could join us either as someone who uses the Amsoil products or to join the Amsoil team as a business opportunity. And we thank you so much for viewing. Have a great day.
You have a good day.